Hello, this is Anna Imagination. We are going to talk about finding what is real in a fake world. This is really a hard thing to identify if you don't know what you're looking for. I am a firm believer that things are hard when you're uneducated, and that when you're educated in the right order, things are easy. If things are hard, it's because you are learning them out of order, or you have an incomplete background of history because you're learning them out of order. And if they're easy, it's because you are learning them in the right order at the right time. Fear is also a symptom of uneducation. Confusion is a symptom of uneducation. Problems in life, abuse, these are all symptoms of uneducation. Somebody who is educated finds that things are easy. Someone who is educated does not have a fear of the unknown because they know. A person who is educated does not suffer from confusion. They have a clear head and a clear mind. An uneducated person has a surplus of problems because they lack problem-solving skills. An educated person has nothing but problem-solving skills. It is their mastery. An uneducated person suffers significantly from abuse. An educated person recognizes an abusive person and preserves the self properly with the proper skills to avoid being abused to begin with. Uneducated people have not learned that uneducation is very taxing, life-threatening, and expensive. Educated people have learned the value of education. When you are in a fake world, the primary reason why everything is fake is because everybody is uneducated. What is really going on in a fake world is you have a lot of people who don't know what it is to be something. They're ignorant. So they mimic, much like a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old tries to put on mommy's clothes or mommy's purse or mommy's shoes, because they are in the mimic stage of education. The mimic stage of education ends with knowledge. It's literally practicing to try and figure out how something is supposed to be like. And until you gain the knowledge and the education, you have to guess through practice and mimicry. That constant practice and mimicry carries over into adulthood when the child and the teenager, and then later the adult, fails to educate themselves in the right subjects to develop an actual, real, knowledgeable existence. So when we see somebody who is acting fake and phony, it's because they are mimicking, or they are wearing a mask, because they're guessing at what they're supposed to be doing. The 4 subjects that they are guessing at is money or finance, relationships, problem solving, and parenting. Basically, communication, peopling, and human connection. These are 4 subjects that, when combined, make up the lost subject of comprehension. And when you do not know these 4 subjects, it is a significant deficit to how you're supposed to live, where you're supposed to go in life. It's also a massive deficit that defines who you are. If you don't know who you are, and if you are undefined, you're not going to be able to know who you are, leading to guesswork. So people guess who they are, or they mimic. And what this ends up resulting in is a whole lot of people who are fake, who are phony, and who are not at all living according to their truth. A person's truth is what is real. And a person's truth is absolutely composed by what they truly want, what their theme is, and what their desire is. The problem is, by the time we are about 4-year-olds, this information is taken away from us, and we associate acceptance with rejecting who we are, what we want, and our truth. So there's an actual internal struggle going on between ourselves and what we want, which is, do I want to be accepted or loved? And we think this is love. Or do I want to be myself? In most cases, people choose to be accepted. And in order to get acceptance, you have to destroy the self. So people end up killing what they want, what they dream, what they desire. They throw away their thing. And what results is they conform to what they're told they should do, and they live a should life. A should life is literally a fake life filled with all the expectations that everyone else told them they should do. The problem is, a should life is a fake life. We're going to say that again. A should life is a fake life because it's not at all real. It's just a bunch of expectations. A real life is. A real life has no shoulds. In a real life, you do what you do because you have purpose, you know who you are, and you want it. Therefore, you do it. A should life is one that's constantly guessing at what is acceptable and what they should do without actually wanting to do any of it. So that develops a mask, a mimic, a facade, a phoniness that prevents a person from living a real life. We see this with friends, where we go to parties and there's all these people and we make friends, we talk with a bunch of strangers, and we all throw the same words around because that's what you should do. We get a job, we hang out with coworkers, we go golfing because that's what we should do. But none of us actually enjoy golfing. We just should do it because we're attorneys, so that's what we should do. I literally saw this when I worked at the patent office. A collection of attorneys decided to, this is the conversation. So I'm thinking about starting golf because that's what attorneys do, apparently. Do you play golf? No, I've never played golf, but that's what they tend to do, so that's probably what we should do. Yeah, we should probably play golf now. Do you know anything about golf? No. Do you even watch it? No. All right. I'm going to go to the store and get some golf clubs. All right. Yeah. No clue. And I watched literally 5 attorneys, my ex-husband included, go to the store, buy a bunch of clubs, having no clue what they were doing, researching it. It was insane. Going to the local club and playing golf because they're attorneys now, and that's what you should do. None of them had never played to even know if they enjoyed it or liked it. It was an extraordinary social development, watching a bunch of mimics and parrots doing what was expected of them because that's what Hollywood told them to do. And what resulted was literally a bunch of fake and phony people playing a game that they really didn't enjoy, but they were doing it because it was the role they were assigned in a play. And that's really it, is it's a role they were assigned in a play. So let's talk about this. See, now we're in my world. The theater is my world. I got this. I know exactly what this is. I'm so glad I had this conversation with you because now this just broke up and I know what this is. Theater stage. I know exactly what this is. When you sit down and you choose, are we all listening? Gather around the storyteller. This is where it gets awesome. When you are in life and you are standing on a stage, you have options of which stages, which directors, which theaters, which roles to take on. There's a process. It goes like this. Your agent basically calls you up and they say, hey, we got this role for you. They're asking you. Well, great. Let me read the script. So you have to read the script. That's stage one. You read the script. They tell you either you have an option to choose which role you want to perform for, or you're told they want you for this part and you have to decide if you want to accept their offer. So if they're offering it to you, you have to read the script and decide. If you are pursuing them, you have to read the script and decide which role you're going to perform for. My favorite story of this is Madonna. This is the best fucking story in the world for Madonna. When Madonna did Evita, they announced that they were building the film Evita, and Madonna wrote a research paper and an essay in addition to auditioning for the role. She wrote an entire essay explaining why she wanted the role, why she was fit for it, how this role was literally her life, right down to living the exact same life as Evita went through. She's like, Eva Peron is me. Been there, done it. I am Eva Peron. Like, let me have this role. I know this woman. I've lived this woman's life. They gave her the role. It is the exact same concept. Madonna chose the script. She chose the role because it was her. Another one of my favorites is Matt Damon, The Martian. Andrew Weir is the epitome of every author's dream. Next to J.K. Rowling, this man. No, it would be Andrew Weir. Andrew had a blog, and he posted his blog, and his blog was The Martian. People would come along, read it, criticize it. He'd clean it up. They'd advise him. The people edited his book, not him. He was like, oh, yeah. It was extraordinary. It gained so much traction that while Andrew is working for FedEx one day, it may have been UPS, FedEx one day, he gets a phone call. It's Matt Damon. Hi, I just read your blog. Like, I want to do the movie and produce it. And he's like, sure, let me call you back on my lunch break. He only published the book because his reader said, this is really good, you need to publish it. So he like, I'll self-publish it. So he self-published it and threw it on Amazon. Everyone hoarded to it. Matt Damon got it. So now he's like, yeah, I got to let you go, Matt Damon. I got to like go to work. And Matt Damon read it, said, this resonates with me. I want it. That is the process of living a real life. When you are taking on an assigned role without it being anything that resonates with you, it's going to be fake. Bottom line, we're all actors. We're all players. Every one of us. You are the actor in your movie. You are the screenwriter in your movie. You are the director in your movie. You own the fucking theater. And if the character role does not resonate with you, it's going to be a fake and a phony performance. So we have a lot of people who are living their lives on a stage that they refuse to take care of, writing scripts that they don't want to read, taking on roles that they don't want to care about, that they don't resonate with, because someone told them they should do the part without any passion at all behind the role. So now we've got a lot of people on stage wandering around doing the role that's been assigned to them without a care in the world. They're fake. Real people have taken on the role because it identifies with them. This is the word. This is the core word. This whole thing revolves on the word identifies. When you do anything, you need to identify with it. And if you don't, it's going to be fake. Your friends have to identify with you. The actions you do have to identify with you. The things you choose to do have to identify with you. The choices you make have to identify with you. We have a whole lot of people who do not identify with their choices. Bottom line, if you don't identify with your choices, you're going to have a fake life. So we have people whose jobs don't identify with them. You have people whose spouses, whose husbands and wives don't identify with them. Keeping up with the Joneses. You don't identify with what you've purchased. You're trying to compete with the Joneses. You don't identify with what you've purchased, with what you've chosen. You buy the biggest house because of competition, not because you identify with the house. So now you're fake. You've chosen to take a job because your parents told you that that's going to be a good choice. You take it to make them happy, but you don't identify with the job. The thing is, in order to identify with something, you have to know what your identity is. And that's the problem. When you make a choice, you are actually building a piece of your identity. Choices are identity. They are the same thing. The more choices you make, the more identity you have. But you have to make the choice because you identify with the choice. You have to have purpose in order to identify with the choice. And if you don't have purpose, then you shouldn't be making the choice. If you do, now you have a fake life. So if you look at the ratio of fake to real, it's a lot of people making choices without purpose, without any identity, without being able to identify with the choices they make. Thousands of choices are made every day based off of a lack of identity and purpose. You must have these three things: choice with identity and purpose. Then you will identify with your choices. Then you will actually do what you want to do. Those attorneys who chose to play golf did not identify with golf. They had no purpose for playing golf. They did it because they were mimicking what every other attorney does without having a clue. So many people say it. Oh, I better go play golf now because that's what I'm supposed to do. I am convinced that 98% of golf players, I am convinced that 98% of amateur golf players are doing it because it's what they should do, not because they love it. It's extraordinary. When I was going to golf clubs, how many of those people were fake? Because, well, it's what I got to do now because people like me, they do that. There is no identity in it at all. Only the professionals and those 2% of golf players actually love golf because they love golf. If you played golf before it was expected of you, then you love golf. If you loved golf as a kid, then you love golf. If you loved golf for no other reason than you've played the game and you have fucking enjoyed it, then you love golf. But if you pursued it because it's the in thing to do, you're fake as fuck. Bottom line, because you are choosing something without your identity and without purpose. You want a real world? Then be real. Start making choices with purpose that you identify with. Thank you. May the kindest of words always find you.